Good morning, everyone. So on today's Adventures in Silver Glass, we're going to take a look at Double Helix Terranova 2021. This is gorgeous glass, you guys. I got purple, I got red, I got mauve and blues and greens, and oh, what a luscious chunk of silver glass. So let's put it through its paces and get started. So here's how the rods come, you guys. They're kind of an olive green rod, which is so funny because I look at this stuff and I think, how the hell are you gonna get red out of olive green? But okay. So when I'm looking at this glass in my rack, I had to have a whole separate rack area for my silver glass because it never looks like it looks out in the just raw rods. Okay, so this is Terranova 2021, not to be confused with Terra. So there's two different types of glass. There's Terranova and there's Terra, and we're gonna play with Terranova today. Now, I'm looking at the Double Helix website, and it says that this stuff is already out of stock. So I'm very, very lucky that I got some of it. Maybe you guys check with your other suppliers and see if they still have some, if you're interested in getting this. I didn't look at anyone else's website, so hopefully some of the other suppliers have it. And I'm reading the description. It says colors are dependent on the heat treatment. Working hotter or colder, doing a lot of shaping or a little. All of these other factors will affect the color outcome. So they're recommending that we do a full reset to clear, and then a 45-second cooling cycle and a 45-second strike. That seems like a long time to me. I'm probably gonna freak out about cracking. But let's play with this glass, and I wanna play a little more with brass shaping tools to see if we can get some color variation out of it. And I'm of course going to use some clear to make the base bead, but let's see what we get, okay? Here we go. All right. I have started out with a little barrel bead here of the Double Helix Zephyr. I am trying to stay in the Double Helix category of glass, just to not introduce any variation in my experiment. Oh God, you guys, I'm feeling really geeky this morning, so I apologize up front. And now I'm just heating up that Terranova, and down it goes on top of the Zephyr. And I am finding that I really, really like to get this silver glass hot, hot, hot when I lay it down. Almost like I'm striking it early. I don't have a problem with that. I get some good, cool variation out of it. Also, on this glass, when I put it down on silver, when I put it down on clear, it seemed like it's separated. And I got a lot of clear coming up through the silver glass. So I started laying down like 2 layers of the Terranova instead of just one over the clear glass. So, there's nothing wrong with the clear coming up. You get some good patterns and some really cool designs that way, but I don't know. My OCD is like, you can't have anything peeking out. Oh my God, it's against the rules. So I'm gonna lay down 2 layers of this silver glass on top of the clear. So there we go. And you know what? I don't think I got any bubbles this time. Wow. And now it's like, I want bubbles. They look neat. Where's my bubbles? Okay, there we go. All right. This is my cleaning method for my press. Just kind of getting any leftover bead release out of it. All right, let's reset this. Now they said reset to it's totally transparent. So you know what? I am going to crank up that slightly oxidizing flame, and I'm just gonna start cooking this. Cook the dookie out of it, Joe. And there we go. It's going from orange to white, and I'm starting to see the mandrel through the glass. And that's how I know that I've got a good reset, is when I can see the mandrel through that glass. And it's hard to see in my camera with the lens, but that looks good. Okay, so now I'm gonna let this cool. It says let it cool for 45 seconds, so here we go. I got my stopwatch going. And I can see, like, on the first cool why it would take 45 seconds, because this guy was screaming hot. And while that's cooling, I am going to turn down my flame a bit for striking purposes. But it's striking. It's not striking, it's cooling. That's what it's doing. And you can see, like, how there's just a lot more clear than there is silver glass. Even though I put down 2 layers, at this point I start going, oh my God, what happened to my silver glass? Did I burn it all away? And there's that amber color coming out, and I'm past 45 seconds. Let me stick this under the table. And it is not glowing, so let's see what we can get. I'm gonna put it out here, and I'm gonna stop my watch, I'm gonna reset, and I'm gonna start. And right at this cool area of my flame, I'm just gonna hold it in one spot. I'm not rotating the mandrel. I'm just holding it. And see, that's already 15 seconds, and to me that looks like a lot. So let's see if anything happens. Waiting for the glow to go away, and there is some little blue. This has all gone from amber to purple all around it. So that's pretty. So at about 15 seconds, I got blues. Reset the stopwatch. Let's see what we can do on this spot. Start. And I tell you that orange skin that I talk about, that orange glowing skin, it was really orange and glowing. It was a lot. And see, even here right now, it's going from orange to white. And I'm like, oh, that seems like I overstruck it. Or maybe it was too much. Or what the heck. All right, so there's the blues. And if I wait until it stops glowing, let me put it in under the table. Okay, so let's strike this light blue part again and see if we can get any of those reds to come out. And I didn't start the watch again because I just think 45 seconds for this size bead is too much. So there we go. And what's going on here, I do see a little bit of boiling with the glass, but that gives you a really cool kind of look. And there is some of the reds coming out right up here at the top. Huh, interesting. Very, very barely. So to get the reds, you have to really cook this. Okay, I am going to heat this up. This is what I wanted to try today. I'm going to heat this up really hot, and I'm going to put it in my press and see if the brass metal acts as a heat sink and sucks up some of that heat. I'll put my glasses back on. When I'm working with this silver glass, I'm always like taking my glasses off, putting them back on. All right, I'm getting that really nice and glowing and orange. And I can still see where it struck the first time. And I'm going to put it in my press right now. Let's see what we get. Woo! Woo, woo, woo! That's pretty. Okay, blues and greens. And it's got like some amber purples going on right here. What's the other side look like? Same thing, blues and greens, ambers and purples. Now the one thing that I noticed with this glass is that I put it in the in the kiln this way, and then I pull it out and it was all red and mauve, and so there was some additional striking going on with this glass when I put it in the kiln. So don't be surprised when you guys see that. You put it in one way and it's going to come out another. Okay, so my phone is having real issues today with overheating, so I apologize if my video like just cuts out in the middle of a sentence. But what I did, I've been having a lot of really good luck with this glass when I encase it. So for this second bead, I went ahead, I laid down a base layer of dark ivory, and then I laid down 2 layers of that Terranova. And now I'm just resetting it, and I'm going to kind of use a marver to shape it. We're just going to make a simple little bicone bead here by hand. And there it goes. There is the mandrel starting to show through. Ooh, I got some bubbles, so maybe we'll get some vortex. All right, I think that's good. All right, let me pull it out here. I'm going to keep rotating it a bit so it doesn't slump too much, and get out a marver and just start shaping it. It's not going to be a pretty bead. Using that marver to kind of cool it off a bit too. All right, let me turn this down a bit. I'm going to let this cool. It's cooling, it's cooling. It's cooling. A lot more purples this time on the cooling process than the greens and the blues. Maybe we'll try to strike it like this, and then I'll put my encasement layer on and see what we get. Let me stick this under the table. And it's still kind of glowing. I can't tell, my glasses are on. I can see little striations of the blues coming out, but it's mostly the ambers and the dark purples. So let's go ahead and, okay, it's not glowing anymore. Let me strike this end. And I'm going to just put it back in the flame and rotate it around. Now I'm more worried about my camera crapping out than I am about this bead cracking. Oh, that's so funny. Filming Lampwork glass is anxiety inducing. All right, I'm going for that really heavy orange glow. And I'm also cooking some of the ivory on the edge there, which is, you know, that's okay. All right. And there's the blues coming out. And I just dropped my glasses off my head, so now we're going glassless. Let's go ahead and do this side and see what we can get. So it's turning into the light green there. I like, when I'm working with the silver glass and making beads, I like putting down like a really long base bead and making like a really long tube bead, and then striking it in sections, because you just get like these really cool results. Okay. See, that looks cool to me right there. How that is all just cratery and crackly, and there's some of those blues coming out some more. I don't know how I got this webbing going on here, but right at the junction between the dark ivory and the silver glass, there's some webbing going on, which is really neat. All right, let me do this one more time. I'm going to strike the center, and then I'm going to encase it. Oh, this bead is so wonky, but that's okay. I'll straighten it out when I encase it. Okay, I got some orange glow going on. I'm going to use my marver to kind of cool it down a bit. And the same things, kind of those purples and those greens. But I'm telling you guys, at this end here where it's the darker one, it seemed like when I put it in the kiln, this is the area that turned red, that struck in the kiln. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put on a layer of double helix zephyr here on my bead. And you know what? When I got to this point, I kind of got sick of worrying about it. So if the bead got hot, oh well. If it didn't, oh well. I just wanted it to stay warm to keep it from cracking. So while I'm encasing, I really need my glasses. Sorry, hang on, I gotta get them off the floor. Okay, I'm back. All right, so while I'm encasing this bead, I want to talk to you guys about silver glass and beads of courage. Now, beads of courage, one of their rules for us lamp workers is that we can't send glass that has exposed silver, because some people have silver allergies. And I think there's this cream they use for burns. It's called silver nitrate. And those of us who have been to the emergency room for burns, we know that they always ask, are you allergic to silver? When they put the silver nitrate on your owie. So we can't have any exposed silver when we send our beads to Beads of Courage. So what you do is you have to really thoroughly encase your silver glass beads if you're going to send those to Beads of Courage. And when I say encase, I encase on the inside and the outside. And by encasing the inside, I mean lay down a good base bead of non-silver glass, like your clear, like your ivory, like white. And then that way you are sandwiching your silver glass in between your two inert glasses. So I got the silver sandwiched by the ivory on the inside, and I've got it sandwiched by the clear on the outside. So I hope that made sense. And that's how we're able to send some of these silver beads to the kids. Because I still want to send them these beads. They're really pretty. But I also want to follow the rules and not send any exposed silver to Beads of Courage. And that includes stuff like silver ivory stringers. If you're going to use those in your design for Beads of Courage, you want to make sure that that silver ivory is thoroughly encased. Okay, I got my silver on, and now my silver. I keep calling my clear glass silver glass. I've got the clear on. I'm going to just heat it up. And this is the part where, you know, I think I'm striking this glass while I'm heating it up. I'm striking it through the clear, which is fine. I always had issues with this. At least I thought I had issues, but now I'm thinking, well, maybe I was doing it right and I just didn't notice that I was doing it right. But you can see that that clear glass is getting hot, and the silver glass underneath is starting to glow. So I'm just going to start shaping it here on my marver. And when I was playing with this Terranova last week, it was like, okay, you know what? Stop expecting anything. Just do your job, put it in the kiln, and see what happens. Because here I was all trying to, oh, where's the reds? Where's the purples? Where's this? Where's that? You know what? Maria, just relax. Relax and put it in the kiln. So right now, what I am thinking about, instead of worrying about what this glass looks like, is I'm just trying to get it shaped nicely. Just a simple little bicone, angling that bead down. And then let's see if we can cool it off enough so I can show you what it looks like. Cool. I think I got all of the tool marks out of it. Okay. So this is our final bead. I am going to put it in the kiln, and I'm gonna let it cook for about an hour at 930, and then I'll pull it out and I'll show you guys that final lentil and this final bead. Maybe we'll get some reds out of it. So here are our two beads, and you can tell my lentil bead cracked. That was happening while my phone was cooling off, so I tried to save it by just melting the crack back in. Now I wonder if this is even going to come off the mandrel, but that's not the point. The point is, look at these reds all along here, like a rust, reddish browns. I've got a little bit of pink, some blues, purples, greens on that lentil, and especially here around the edges where my lentil kind of got pressed thin, lots of red going on, and plum and mauve and even some mahogany, and I'm trying to use color words. But oh my gosh, this is so pretty. So that was the lentil where I was trying to use that brass as a heat sink and seeing if that made any difference in bringing the colors out of Terranova. Now this is our encased bead, and it also came out very beautiful. There's those reds. Now if you remember, when I put it in the kiln, this was all like a dark color, dark brown. Same thing down here, dark brown. But then I just left it in the kiln for an hour, and then I brought it back up to, well, not brought it back up, let it cool down to room temperature, and that's what I got. Okay, here we go. Here's some better focus for you. I wanted to get in here really tight so I could show you some of the crackling going on and the cratering going on right around here with this color. And then, remember I said I was getting some webbing going on right in between the dark ivory and the silver glass? So that to me is just really cool. I got this really black line, and then I got some black webbing, which, oh my God, who knows why or how or what happened. It's a magic trick. Anyways, and there are the reds and the pinks and the dark lavenders and the mauves and the plums. This glass just seems to really have a propensity for that. There's some more of that webbing right in there with the ivory at that junction. So you guys, that was Double Helix Terranova. I think this is so beautiful, just a cosmic vortex of wonderfulness. Anyways, have a great weekend. Thanks for hanging out. Go forth and play, and I'll see you next week. Bye.